Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the Nexus. God, that was really late. Anyway, I am back with a Protoss vs Terran guide for you today. This time we'll be looking at Marine Tank Banshee and how to deal with that. So without further ado, let's just jump right into the game. Now, I already did a video about how to defend against proxy play in Protoss vs Terran. So click that button up above if you want to go see that video. It's really useful, and I think it'll really, if you're struggling against proxies in general, it'll help you deal with that. This will be a continuation on from that video in the case where, what if someone's doing a fake proxy and then they do a Marine Tank Banshee follow-up behind this. And the reason I say that is, for the most part, you're going to be seeing this sort of all-in push off that kind of thing. You could see it off a Reaper Expand, and the reactions are exactly the same. But in this game, my opponent, as you see, he'll be faking his proxy, and that's going to be the toughest build order for us to deal with. If it's a Reaper Expand, it's going to hit a bit later, a bit weaker. We can be a bit more greedy to get away with it. So this Marine Tank Banshee build just recently has become really popular. People like Thermal, European Terrans as well, they've all been doing it to great success, and it's really hard for Protoss players to deal with. It keeps catching us off guard because we're very greedy, but it's easy to scout, and the way to counter it and be prepared for it is quite simple once you know it's coming. And the simplest way to deal with it is just to be building units. Now I'll just talk about this because I know the Marine at home killed my probe, so I know the barracks is like here or here, something like this. It's at home. I went ahead and expanded. Now I'm gonna add my stargate. I always go stargate against this proxy kind of stuff. It just deals so well with cyclone pressure. And in this game I end up making a mistake. I'm like, let's go. We can go across the map and do damage. Big mistake. Never do this. So I'm actually going to end up losing a Stalker and a Zealot for free to a Cyclone. Yeah, it just does not work, as I learnt this game. Almost killed it, but that's fine. So yeah, even with us being down this much, we're still going to end up being fine. I'm going to go Phoenix. Now this Phoenix is extremely important. Send it across the map straight away and get a scout on your opponent. What we're looking for is barracks with a reactor on it, factory with a tech lab, starport with a tech lab. And in this game, as we'll see, starport with tech lab, barracks and factory. If he has another barracks, third command center, he's building reactors, stuff like this, he's not doing this build, and we don't have to worry about it. But if we go across the map and see with our Phoenix this is what he is doing, then we know what to prepare for. And also sometimes, you just catch the Banshee off guard, which is sick. So yeah, I go 2 Phoenix and an Oracle. I think we kill this Banshee, which is awesome. And then I go into the main base, and I see what else is here. I see no other units. I'm like, okay, I need to be very careful to deal with this Marine Tank Banshee push that has a high likelihood of coming. So what do? I already added 2 extra gates. I'm going to keep probing up, always keep probing. I'm going to warp in a few extra Stalkers. And my response is just to build units on 2 bases. I'm not going to take a really quick, greedy third base. I think it probably is possible to do it and then not to take your gases. But in this game, I'm going to take my gases and get a twilight, but continue to build units onto base. Now, my scouting, should probably keep coming in and checking what's happening. But on this day, I played this build like 20 times in a row or something like this, so I was like, at this point, really frustrated with it, dealing with it, so I sort of skimp on my scouting a bit, but I know it's coming, and the stasis ward will let me know fully. Once again, because it's Banshees, I do add shield batteries in my mineral lines, really useful. Now, two ways to deal with it. If you're sitting here on 2 bases, warping in units, add the Twilight and a Forge. If you take your third Nexus, do not add Twilight and Forge. And often this taking the third Nexus will be a lot more important in a game that's not a proxy. In a game where he just went Reaper Expand and is going into a tank push and you scouted and whatnot, just a 1-1-1 tank push, do not add your Twilight and your Forge, but still take your third base. Against this kind of style, I think you probably still could take your third base, but I was just mucking around with doing it very safe 2 base, so I do add Twilight.
Dimensional strings attuned.
Go 2 Phoenix, 2 Oracles, these are so good. Detection, lifting up tanks, the works. And I'm just warping in units, I am ready. Like, he's gonna come across the map and just get dunked on, okay? Unfortunately we lose both our Oracles, that's one thing we need to not do. Because we need them for detection. So we clear up everything. Really, really good. We're super far ahead at this point. We're up in workers by a lot. He pulled a few boys. We got Blink started. And we're about to take our third base. So the way that you really have to approach this is 2 ways. In this exact case, I delayed my third base. But if you're going for your third base, delay your Twilight and delay your Forge. If you saw my other previous video about opening Stargate into Blink, in those cases, if he's doing a 1-1-1 push, delay your Twilight, delay your Forge. If you do end up getting them, don't get the upgrades. You just need units. Extra tech will not help you. But let's just see how this game plays out as well. And I can show you how I play it out from here. I think I want to add my Forge. I think it could have been a lot earlier in this game. Go across the map and I revelate to see, oh, he's still building tanks. But I think this is just sort of defensive. I'm still going to let Blink finish, you know. So I start +1. Blink's almost done, I'll start charging in a sec as well. I've added a couple of gateways to go up to 5, and I'm going to add 3 more gateways in just a second, I'm sure. Ah, I already added them out of natural. There we go. So you go up to 8 gateways. Add a few sentries. And now that charge has begun, I'm just going to produce essentially only zealots. Just mass zealot back at home. And in this case, off 4 gases. I'm continuing to scout. I want to see if it's 2 base all in. I see a 3rd command center, so I'm really happy at this point. And we're just like so far ahead now. Because you have to remember, if they commit to a Marine Tank Banshee push, their stim is super delayed. They only have 1 barracks, right? So they do not have the tech to punish you. So you can be very greedy afterwards. So if you clean up their fighting army, like we did in this game, you're just going to be so far ahead. And in this game I then decide to go for a big counter-attack, because I think I can end the game. This is probably a mistake. I should just take a 4th base, which I do, but you know, add my gases, macro up a bit more. Widow Mines wreck me, as usual, but we trade decently, so it's not the end of the world. Once our zealots die, we need to go home. Zealots are the buffer. Zealots are the things that keep us alive in this game, so if you run out of zealots when you're doing this sort of push, you need to pull back to Warp Prism, or pull back entirely. We're super far ahead in this game. I don't think I'm going to watch it all with you guys. But as you can see, I'm adding my Robo now, and I'm going to go Warp Prism High Templar, do Storm Drops in the main engagement so they can't be EMP'd. I'm going to add a 2nd Forge as well, which is really important. Once you get 1-1, I tend to add my 2nd Forge, so then you can go for 2-2 at essentially the same time. He starts to push out. Just keep on warping in zealots. Zealots. That's what you guys need to be doing. Pure zealot. Until you get maxed, essentially. And then try and make something happen on the map. If you can't make anything happen, transition behind it. Go up to Tempest, go up to Colossus. However you're feeling in the game. So yeah, I think... Well, as you can see, I'm adding my 2nd Robo in this game. This is sort of how I deal with this. You also know that I have some map vision. Zealot up here, Probe here, and there's a Zealot here. So this entirety of the map was covered. I had obviously the Watchtower here, and a Zealot here. So I had the full map covered. No drops would be able to sneak by, and if they did, I still have recall to reposition. Adding a whole bunch of cannons over here just because I can. And I would be looking at doing, you know, a push once I defend all his aggression. So yeah guys, I think that will do me for this video. I don't want to talk about PvT too long. Just now I'm going to go into Colossus, is essentially the next stage in my game plan, chrono boosting out upgrades. I hope you guys have really enjoyed this video. If you're struggling still with Marine Tank, focus on not being so greedy. Keep probing up and whatnot, but build units earlier. And it's all about the scouting, right? So if you see a 1-1-1 and you're pretty sure he's building tanks, you've seen it, he's committed to it, build all the units before you get your Twilight and your Forge. Or stay on 2 bases for a bit longer. If this doesn't work for you, then, well, I don't know. Just try and fix it. Build more units, macro better, stuff like that. Try and scout it a bit earlier. Do all those kinds of things. I sort of started a ramble at the end of this video. Hope you guys like the Nexus. That was a really terrible and lame joke. But yeah, if you like this video, please think about hitting that subscribe button, turning on notifications, leaving a comment below. Let me know what kind of stuff you would like to see on this channel. Thank you very much, guys, and I hope you have a good day.